Hi everybody, and welcome back to another K Crochets tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to crochet the Tunisian Knit Stitch. As you can see, the Tunisian Knit Stitch resembles the stockinette stitch from knitting. After this tutorial, if you are ready for a project, you'll have to check out my best-selling pattern, the Follow You sweater. It has set-in sleeves, so it sits perfectly up on your shoulders. It also has fitted sleeves, so it's super flattering. Plus, it's lightweight and size inclusive. You can find the link for it down below. But enough chit-chat, let's go ahead and see what we're gonna need to get started. To make a small swatch, all you're gonna need is a crochet hook and some yarn. I am personally using an 8mm Denise interchangeable crochet hook with some Soft and Sleek Chunky by Yarn Bee. But feel free to use whatever yarn and hook that you have on hand for this tutorial. To begin, go ahead and make a slip knot and chain any number. I am personally going to chain 10. If you do not know how to make a slip knot or how to make a chain, I highly recommend clicking the link at the top right of this video, learning the basics, and then coming back. Once you're finished with your chain, you're going to be working into the second chain from the hook. Now I do want to mention that the first loop on your hook is going to count as the first stitch here and throughout. So again, to get started, go ahead and place that hook through the second chain. Yarn over and pull up a loop. You should have 2 loops on your hook. This is where Tunisian crochet is different than traditional crochet. Instead of continuing and finishing off that individual stitch, you are going to leave the loop on your crochet hook. You're then going to place your hook under the next chain, yarn over and pull up another loop. You should now have 3 loops on your hook. And that is all you're going to do for the forward pass of row 1. You're going to continue working across the chain, simply placing your hook through each individual chain, yarning over and pulling up a loop. The thing to remember in Tunisian crochet is your tension. You're going to need to be mindful of how far you're pulling up each loop. Alright, once you're finished working across your chain, it should look something like this. You should have the same number of loops as chains. Again, I have 10. The last thing we're going to do to finish row 1 is called a return pass. But before I show you how to do that, I want you to push as many loops toward the tip of your crochet hook, like so. You are then going to yarn over and pull through 1 loop. Yarn over and pull through 2 loops. And that is the repeat across until 1 loop remains on your hook. You are simply going to yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2. Again, doing that until you have 1 loop on your hook. Alright, and this is what your work should look like at the end of row 1. As you can see, we have now created what are called vertical bars. Before we begin, I just want to remind you that the loop on your hook does count as the first stitch, so we will not be working into that first vertical bar. Instead, we will start in the next vertical bar. As you can see, there are 2. There's a front vertical bar and a back vertical bar. For the Tunisian Knit Stitch, we will be working between and through to the back of these 2 bars. Let me show you what I mean. So go ahead and place your hook between the front and back vertical bar and push your hook all the way to the back of your work. Yarn over and pull up a loop. Go ahead and find the next vertical bar, place your hook between the front and the back, push your hook all the way through, yarn over, pull up a loop. Continue to do that all the way across until 1 vertical bar remains. Just remember when working this stitch to keep your loops nice and loose. Alright, I'm coming up on that last vertical bar. For a cleaner edge, you are going to work under the 2 loops located on the side of your work. You're then going to yarn over and pull up a loop. And this is what your work should look like at the end of the forward pass for row 2. The return pass is going to be the same as row 1. You are going to yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2. And the repeat across is yarn over, pull through 2 until 1 loop remains. And this is what your work should look like at the end of row 2. You are now simply going to repeat row 2 until your desired length. Once you reach that length, you're going to need to bind off. So let's go ahead and learn how to do that. Alrighty, your work should look something similar to this, but probably a little bit bigger. We are now ready to bind off and finish off our work. To do so, place your hook between the front and back vertical bar all the way through to the back, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then pull that loop that you just made through the loop that's on your hook. And that's it. So pretty much you're just working the Tunisian knit stitch, but instead of keeping the loop, you're getting rid of it. And that is how you bind off the Tunisian knit stitch. So go ahead and do that all the way across, and once you have one loop on your hook, you're going to cut your yarn, chain one, and that's it. I hope you all enjoyed this video tutorial. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see any other tutorials from me, please let me know down in the comments what you'd like to see. I hope you guys have a great day and happy making!